While riding a bus, a woman suddenly notices something terrifying. The newspaper on the seat beside her mysteriously catches fire, and in that instant, she realizes something is very wrong. Panicked, she rushes to the driver, frantically banging on the door, desperately demanding to get off right away. With no choice, the driver lets her off, but once she's outside, she becomes even more terrified. Her face twists in fear as she begs passers-by for help. Her strange behavior draws a small crowd, but their curiosity quickly turns into regret. As the woman's skin gradually turns dark red, something horrifying happens next. The case quickly grabs the attention of the FBI. At the scene, there are 2 charred bodies. Strangely, when the female agent looks again, one of the bodies suddenly disappears into thin air. Even stranger, everyone else insists there was only ever one body. The agent brushes it off as a trick of her eyes and doesn't think much of it. But when she returns to FBI headquarters and reports to her superior, Broyles, he asks about the second victim.
There was only one victim.
I'm confused.
He shows her the case photos, clearly showing 2 burned bodies, exactly as she originally saw. Before she can process it, another Broyles suddenly appears behind her, while the one in front of her vanishes. Is this a hallucination, or is something wrong with her mind? And could this bizarre case be tied to something much bigger? For now, Olivia sets aside what she just experienced and gives Broyles a full report on the case. Walter and his team discover that the victim had dental work done. That means they can trace the victim's identity through dental records.
Her name is Susan Pratt.
After identifying the victim, Olivia and her partner head to Susan's home to investigate. There, they uncover 2 suspicious clues. One is a check signed by someone named Winston, and the other is Susan's bathroom. The entire room smells burnt, and empty fire extinguisher canisters scattered on the floor suggest a fire had broken out there.
What the hell happened to her?
Olivia shares these findings with Walter and Peter, and Walter picks up on a key detail. They had previously considered spontaneous human combustion, but natural events are typically one-time and fatal. Like a lighter, once the fuel is burned up, it can't just ignite again, unless the victim had the ability to control fire. Peter thinks that sounds ridiculous, but in theory, it's possible. Walter demonstrates using snacks in his hand, explaining that if someone could control the molecules in their body, making them vibrate and collide, they could generate heat. Once it reaches a critical point, it would burst out just like the snack bag. But even if that's true, there's no reason for Susan to set herself on fire. The only logical explanation is that she couldn't control her ability, which led to the explosion that killed her. If they can uncover the secret behind Susan, they might get closer to the truth of the case. Right now, their only lead is the check signed by Winston. Through their intel network, they find out he's a lawyer. But when Olivia goes to his office, the place is completely empty, which feels very off. Nothing like a legitimate business. She casually checks the voicemail and unexpectedly finds an important clue.
Mr. Winters, it's Susan again. You told me not to talk to anybody, but I'm scared. What's happening to me?
It's clear that Susan had run into some kind of trouble and was seeking Winston's help, but whether she truly had uncontrollable fire-starting abilities, like Walter suggested, is still unknown. One thing is certain, this Winston is not an ordinary person. As Olivia prepares to head back and share what she found, she suddenly witnesses something terrifying. The city appears completely razrooshed, like it's been torn apart by war. She can hardly believe her eyes, but just as quickly as it appears, it vanishes.
You okay?
These repeated visions make it impossible for Olivia to ignore what's happening. She doesn't know if she's just exhausted or if something is wrong with her mind, but Walter offers an explanation for what she's experiencing.
Déjà vu.
He says it's like visiting a place for the first time, but feeling like you've been there before. In reality, you have, just in another parallel universe. For example, imagine you pass a lottery shop. In one scenario, you buy a ticket and win $100 million. Your life changes completely. But in another scenario, you don't buy it, and your life continues as usual. The concept of parallel universes means both outcomes exist at the same time. In other words, somewhere out there, another version of you might be flying on a private jet, casually scrolling through videos. So Walter believes the visions Olivia is seeing are events happening in a parallel world. While he can't fully explain how she's accessing those memories, he thinks that if what she's seeing is real, then maybe the answers to this case exist in that other universe. As Olivia returns to the FBI, her surroundings suddenly flicker. She immediately realizes this is the parallel world Walter was talking about. Seizing the moment, she quickly asks her colleagues about Susan's case.
You have half of Boston in quarantine lockdown. Are you worried about a pair of charred twins?
Twins?
Something major seems to have happened in this version of reality. But Olivia only cares about the case. Just like in her visions, there were indeed two bodies. Then, in a flash, everything disappears, and she's back in her original world. If what she saw really was a parallel universe, then one thing wouldn't change: Susan having a twin. So they searched the database and found Susan's twin sister, Nancy. They had missed it before because Nancy had been reported missing 11 years ago, but now there was a current address listed for her. They rushed over to investigate, but someone had gotten to Nancy before Olivia arrived.
Nancy Lewis, my name is Isaac Winters.
By the time Olivia and the others got there, the place was already trashed, and Nancy was nowhere to be found. However, Peter noticed the coffee in the cup was still warm, which meant Nancy had been there just moments ago. He also found signs that the window had been melted by extreme heat. Maybe Nancy had the same fire-starting ability as Susan. If that were true, Peter had a way to find some clues.
I got an idea.
He used a drill to cut out a piece of the glass and placed it under a special device. It was a machine that could extract audio from surface vibrations, basically working like a record player. If Nancy had lost control and melted the glass with heat, then the patterns on the glass would have recorded the sounds from that moment. And just as Peter expected, the glass did contain recorded audio. After filtering out background noise, they obtained a chilling recording.
Get out of here! Stay away! What do you want?
The audio captured exactly what had happened there. But what caught Olivia's attention most was a segment with dialing tones. She asked Peter to isolate that part because her phone could automatically identify the number from the tones. Whoever was on the other end had to be directly connected to the case. But what they didn't expect was that it traced back to Harris.
This is Harris.
Olivia said nothing, but Harris still sensed something was off and immediately left the FBI building. Now that he was a prime suspect, there was no way Olivia would let him go. She had her team follow him, tracking him all the way to a warehouse district filled with interconnected buildings. Olivia and her colleagues split into two teams, each taking an agent to search for Harris. When Olivia stepped into one of the offices, she was instantly chilled to the bone. The walls were covered with information about recent cases, not just Susan and her twin, but even photos of Olivia herself. Clearly, Harris was far from ordinary. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out, and the agent with her was taken down instantly. Staying calm, Olivia circled behind and quickly subdued the attacker. Unfortunately, the agent had been shot in the head and couldn't be saved. Right now, finding Harris was the priority, and unexpectedly, she ran into Winston there, which meant Nancy might also be inside. Sure enough, she found Nancy tied up, but this was all part of Harris's carefully planned trap. Only then did Olivia notice Harris nearby. His presence here clearly meant something bigger was going on. But she had no time to think, because Nancy's condition was critical. If she had the same ability as her sister and couldn't control it, she could explode like a ticking bomb, and Olivia would be caught in it too. Meanwhile, Harris kept his eyes on the monitoring equipment, reporting data in real time to someone behind the scenes. It seemed they were trying to achieve some kind of experimental breakthrough using Nancy.
It worked. She's hot. We have an active, but she's a loss. She's highly unstable.
Although Olivia didn't fully understand what Harris was up to, she suddenly remembered something Walter had said. This fire-starting ability could be projected outward, igniting objects from a distance. So Olivia tried to calm Nancy down, guiding her to focus and redirect her power elsewhere.
You can control this, and I'm gonna help you. I just need you to focus the heat away from us.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Just focus. Focus on it.
In the end, the case came to a close as Harris was consumed by the flames he helped create. And earlier, when Olivia saw everything in Harris's office, she realized something important. All the recent cases seemed to be connected to Cortexiphan, and she herself was part of it too. Self was